Awesome. Hello and welcome everyone to Healing Space with Gently Healing. I am Jen Tilley and I am super grateful to be here with all of you. And I hope you guys have all had a really, really beautiful day. And I'm grateful you're here. And hello to Willow, and hello to Jacob, and hello to Robert. I want to say thank you, Robert Howley, for putting together the beautiful music and compilation that we were just listening to at the start of the show. I so love it and appreciate it. And it's kind of like, ooh, which one do I want to do today? And just having the options and just having that beautiful space that we get to just kind of have a moment and all come together and see you guys all say hello to each other is so rad. So hello to Lucinda and hello to Jasmine. I am so happy to see you here. Hi, meow kitty kitties. I love it. I love it. And it is good, definitely, to see all of you guys as well. I'm very grateful to be here, and I want to start off the show with an update on Gina. I just want to say again, thank you so much for all of you guys coming in and selflessly doing some beautiful healing work for a soul that is so rad. And it was very much needed at this time, and we all did that. And how awesome is that? So what I wanted to share was a text message that came through yesterday. I think I shared with you that I talked to Gina's sister as well as being able to talk to Gina, and I also talked with her boyfriend. But Gina and her boyfriend were on speakerphone, so they were at the same time. But still, it was awesome to have that connect. I went on to explain to her sister, who her sister's name is Jennifer, like me. So we have Jennifer and Jen and Gina and the Gina Gins and all these magical powers of the Gin coming in, and I love it. Jennifer, I had asked her to watch the shows that we had done and to also bring the shows into the space. And I talked to Gina about that too, just saying that we have been doing this work. And I just felt very strongly that that would really change up a lot of the morale within the space. Also bringing in the attention to it that already was permeating there. And anyway, so after our show, and they had watched it, the message that I had received. So this was at 6:34, so it was pretty right after the show. But she said, "I can't thank you enough. I spoke to my sister's boyfriend, who was there, and he said you can't imagine what you did talking to her and your podcast. She sat right up, took the blankets off, started eating real food." I can never thank you enough for putting that smile on her face. Thank you for both podcasts, positive energy. Um, and then today I received a message from Gina, which I don't have pulled up here, and I'm using my phone, but it went on to just pretty much say all of her manifestations of this, not being her time to go, and evoking and invoking all of that power within to heal. And I just can't express to you all how awesome it is when you take that moment and step outside and really go inside to see how this work can actually work. And really, I can't even tell you like the warmth that came over me just hearing that, and just hearing somebody, just that whole journey. And it's relishing every moment that we get to have and loving ourselves and doing this work. It's if we stuff our issues, they go into our tissues, guys. And so it's important. It's important. You're worth it. And so I feel really, really, really awesome that no matter what, we get to have these reminders of the fragility of life, but also the non-fragility of life, that when you evoke your power and say no and use that word to its full power that it can evoke, and you stand up and you say, I'm going this way, and you make that decision. I say this, if you make every decision like your life depends on it, because it does, your life would look very different. And we're creators. Even in the destruction, we're creators. And yes, Jacob, it is really an amazing update. Seriously. It's so rad. And that's how it is. You say no. And I am going to do it this way. And you listen to yourself, and you listen to your heart, and you listen to your gut. You are a receiver. This information is at your fingertips in order for you to know what that next indicated step is. If not, you're flying in the dark. It's like I say, you say you're not blind, but can you see in the dark? Well, yes, you can. You can if you are able to navigate your shadows and not be afraid in that space. You are an all-powerful being right now. When you say, I want to be the highest version of myself, my higher version, you're hiring yourself. Like an employee, your higher self is here. But if you don't have room or the funds or the energy for that higher self to remain within this vessel, it's not going to be here like any other employee. You say, I don't have funds to pay you. They're like, sorry, I got to go. But the moment you ask your higher self, you're hiring yourself to come in. And that hiring of yourself is doing the work of navigating your shadows and taming your shrew and not being jealous and manipulative and lying. It's being your authentic you, standing in your confidence and knowing that you can navigate any situation. Look at where you are now. You've made it. You did it. You did all those steps. Isn't that rad? You've been through hell and back. You can do it. Because you've already proved it. So it's making that decision and not flying blind, not lamenting back and forth, but just saying, I choose this way. And then having confidence going, well, I've already been through all that other stuff. I built this confidence inside myself. But it's not even going back, like replaying those traumas. It's just this internal thing of yourself. And then it gets grander and greater the more and more you open up and wake up. And it's a constant series of that. It's a constant series of keeping things novel and meeting yourself now. It's like, oh, you only live one day, this day, right now. You are this person now. You're not the same 6-year-old you were, 14-year-old you were, 21-year-old you were. You are you now. You are all those things now. And, man, I am just elated when I see, no matter what the outcomes are, I'm elated to see the nows. It's not, I think it is so rad when people evoke their power and let go of that fear. It's a reason there's the anagrams that go everywhere of the false evidence appearing real for fear. And so what I talk about and what I've learned and what I learned to apply on a regular basis is when you feel the emotion, you're telling yourself these things. When you see these critters and these animals or the plants or all these things, they're placed there for you, bringing you your messages, whether it's the rabbit or it's the bumblebee. It all has a message. Your dreams are the same. It's a really rad life, and it's all a perspective. And we're also human, and and that's okay. Like doing human things, but pulling in the logic and not getting yourself stuck in that place like, oh no, I messed up again. No, you did. Yeah. It was like the other day I shared with you something where it was like I was like having these duh moments where it was like I would just say this thing and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. Where was my filter that stopped that before I said it? Just kind of like it was just duh kind of things. And shortly after the show and sharing that, Zach ended up saying something that just kind of was this. He's like, I can't even believe I just said that, which is very rare, I have to say, for Zach. But in my reality, all of a sudden, just seeing somebody else navigate that, where it was just like sometimes we just have that, and that's okay. And you see that maybe you don't want to do that anymore. So what are those steps that you don't have to have these dumb moments? And that's just really simply coming back to being the governor, minding your thoughts, observing what's going on there, and keeping awareness. And awareness is key. It is key. It's just part of the discipline. The last couple days here, it's been really, really great for our space, where we can come together. We talk often, like it's important to, like, a flexible mind equals a flexible body, or a flexible mind equals a flexible body. They go hand in hand when those energies flow without restriction through the vessel and through your mind and you and your heart. And so I talk about doing, different yogic practices, but yoga isn't just like the Western yoga where you go into a class. It's a constant state of meditation. Yoga is, but it also has some really great stretches in there, really great history and information about the body and why these are suggested stretches. So I do recommend that. I do recommend also to dial it back sometimes. Less is more. Don't hurt yourself with it. Just do it to the point of before you feel any pain. And then imagine yourself going the rest of the way, and then your mind will resolve what it is to do that, what needs to gather and release. So, like things that I say, like when you first wake up in the morning, you don't know where you've been. You've just been through other dimensions while you were dreaming, and now you're back. And who knows what traumatic events or awesome fun events or, who knows what you need to get out. That's why I think we just naturally just go and we stretch. We do that already. But there's other points to that, not shortchanging yourself with your stretch. So, but there's farther things you can do. Like I like to stretch, and then I like to just listen and like, oh, I'm going to move this way now, and I'm going to move this way, and just let myself follow the path and unwind it. Only I know that path, not my sun salutation yogic practices in the morning. No, I know it. You know it. So first thing in the morning, meeting yourself. This is your day. This is your first day of you being you. You're hiring your higher self. And that's what you want most, to be your authentic you. So, release those kinks, And so, but I also find that it is very fun to do things like yoga and exercise with other people. I think other people can bring motivation when maybe you don't have it so much. Like there's a lot of keys and things to having people around that can help with that process too. And it's cool when you create a reality of like-minded people. And so for the last couple days, we've just kind of, Joey, Lucinda, Kala, and I, and Zach has been playing his music in the background. And we were talking about also just like, so we all are doing our yogic practices, if you will. And we're doing it together. And it's really, really cool, and it's really, really fun. And I find like in the 2 days that I have been coming together and really, really focusing on, I guess, doing these exercises and yogic practices, that it was something that I had learned when I studied the Feldenkrais method, that when you bring in awareness, and they would have these awareness through movement lessons where you would just lie there and you would do minuscule amounts of movement. And I shared on the show, like the first class we ever did was like suckling, like we did as an infant. Like the first thing we really pretty much learned to do was to suckle. And then we followed that all the way down and tracked it down our necks and into our shoulders and all the way to the bottom bottoms of our feet. Like you can't even purse your lips without your bottom of your feet being affected. But what is so rad was when you bring that level of awareness to yourself and your body, that that you navigate your reality a bit clearer, and with clearer awareness, it just kind of trickles out and ripples out into the rest of your life, where there's times, like especially if you are one that has anxiety or identify kind of with that attribute. I find that when I get anxious, that I will end up doing things very quickly. I really know I have this sharp mind. I'm going to just do that quick. But there's a lot of mistakes that can be made within this space. Instead of just calmly taking my time, or even just there's this level of awareness and spatial awareness and body awareness that comes when you pause and you do I did say it, the exercises and the stretches, that you really sink yourself, that these little accidents of like bumping a glass of water over, or these things, those are all signs. Those are all the things we are telling ourselves, like, ooh, bring in more awareness, so that you're not doing more work. So anyway, it's been really, really fun to be able to kind of have this little community around, that is like we're all at our own stages and levels of doing it, yet we're all in like the same space. It's just unifying in it. So it's like we all have our own little bit of knowledge that we can bring in, and it's really fun. And even if it's like the beginner aspect, like so like if one has not ever really practiced a yoga, let's say, that it's just really fun to then like teach it and teach what you have learned about it. And so my thoughts on that is like I really would like to be able to, like, we create this as kind of that habit, but set up this like live thing that we're doing in real life, and inviting all you guys also into the space. While Zach's doing his dope music in the background, we're doing our whatever free flow of exercise that we've decided to add to our lives that day. I've shared with you before, like I used to do, like I had a big many years of my life in the fitness industry. So I had a lot of knowledge on fitness, but I would say that the best thing I've ever learned about it is that you just got to have fun, and you just got to move, and you create what you want inside your mind. I mean, if you're building muscles, okay, like I want a bigger butt. So maybe a lot of my focus will be on building that, but whatever those practices are. And so I'm in the process of creating that and creating the habits, and those that are in the space that there'll be a time. So I'd love to hear if you guys would be interested in joining along with our fun little playful stretching and exercises that we have been adding on a daily basis. And I just think that it's very helpful. So anyway, so I was thinking about that, and how I really wanted to share like how cool it is to even notice like myself just having that spatial awareness that I kind of had kind of stepped back from. That I didn't realize so much how like it's simple. Like it's simple. Like I don't really have to think about it. I'm observing myself with more spatial awareness. There's not an energy. It's just kind of like that immediate reward for doing that thing. And so, and no matter what level you're at, it's like, what I learned is that if you just imagine it, like if you can't get up and move that day, but you just imagine doing it, all of the parts, your brain doesn't know the difference. So it will end up giving all the signals to the muscles and all of that. And you could lose weight, you could build muscle, you could do all the things within that space. And so, yeah, that was my thoughts on that today. So I hear Willow saying, I would love to join. Oh, Kala's here. Hi, Kala. Maybe I should see Kala, comments for a moment. Hi, Willow. I'm so super excited for the live free flow yoga. Yeah. See, Kala, I was just sharing that. I'm really glad that you're here because it was so fun. And I noticed such a difference within the space. So I want to kind of just read this, and I think I already did. Amazing update. I'm happy Gina is doing better and that things are back on the right track. And it's not so much that they got off track. They were exactly on the track that they were supposed to, and it takes what it takes to get to that point, And and really like on I guess the right track, if we want to put it on the, Gina being still here. Yeah. So it is I'm very happy to hear that she mustered the strength to pull the blankets off of her, eat real food, and just put that smile on her face, because that is what it is about, this life. I remember when I worked with Adelaide. She was a woman that lived to be 100 years old, and I knew she was only going to live to 100 because that's what she had wanted. I don't think she had any real want to live past that. It was a milestone, and so it was really rad to like witness somebody that had lived such a full life, and when they had decided to go, and helping with that process. I've worked with the life and the death, and see how that operates. But the last days of just like sitting there and enjoying the food, it's like on the Matrix where the guy's like, I just want to eat that steak. He probably was the smartest guy in the entire movie, where it was like, I look at all of this and I realize, that this earthly position that we've decided to place ourselves in is in enjoying those little things about life and not missing those things. And I just literally, it was just the sweetest thing, just like hanging out, cooking for Adelaide, doing the healing work with her, like the whole process of that, and like ushering her to the other side of the veil, like as it got thinner. It was really just such a cool experience. But really, the biggest things I got out of it was just enjoying the little things. She had journaled every day of her life. And some of it wasn't exciting, like, oh, we drove into town and we brought Scout with us or something, their dog, or I don't remember their dog's name, but it was something like that. And it just was these simple things. But she was happy, you know? And I think it's important to get to that as well. Like, it's important for us to do the self-work and dig and get through the shadows. But in order for the chaos around us to not affect us, we have to keep balanced. And so it is through finding this playful way of doing life, this playful way of going about it. And I mean, there's enough fear and worry out there. Like there's enough of that. But to bring it internally here, like, would just really, well, for me, it just would hinder my own progress. So when I see it come in, I look at it and I experience that feeling, and then I bring in the logic. And then I feel it again and see where I feel after I put the logic. And if it's not resolved, then I go back to that logic. One step, another step, one step, another step. So, yeah, I like that. So, such great news. So glad Gina is doing better. Yes, I would agree. And yeah, it is better. You're right, both of you guys. It is better. Hello, everyone. Yes, hello, Kala. We're happy you're here. This is awesome. Yes, I would love to join, you were saying. And also, yes, that sounds awesome. Awesome. So we're in the works of doing that. I think the most important things when you start doing podcasts and all of that is just kind of getting that habit and that down for yourself, and then being able to also, share it. Like, even doing the show, like, it was really nice to be able to come on Aaron and Zach's show to just like even start with the chat. Like, the chat was really helpful for me, just getting into that space and learning how to communicate. As I've told you, this is all like, I'm learning how to do that with you guys. And so it was just so awesome to be in that space and that family that we created there. And then when I went on the show, then it was like, now I'm seeing this, and that creation starts to begin. And we're just creating over here, and we're creating all the time. So, yeah, I like that. And Kala says, one step, another step. That's the only way forward. That's right. But you want to make sure to alternate your feet, because I mean, you might be really flexible and be able to do the splits and all, but it's really hard to walk if every time you're taking left, 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 and then have to do one huge right step forward. You know, so I mean, there's all different ways that we can walk and stuff, but but I would definitely say it's better to just alternate left, right, left. So and it's the same with our minds, and we program it like that. It's the same way with our actions, and we program it like that, so that we can see how to navigate, and you know, how am I now? How do I feel now? Where am I at now? And trusting that you're like, every one of us out there is really just trying to do what we think was the most right thing at the moment. Like even if we like, it's like not blaming others for stuff. Like the reality is they were just thinking they were doing the most right thing, no matter what your judgment is of that. All of us are doing that. We're not trying to make our lives terribly worse. I mean, we might not be doing the steps in order to make it better, but you are if you're here. You are, because you're exploring yourself and you're exploring your mind, and it's awesome. And that comes with, you know, listening to this stuff, and then also doing the meditations with yourself and creating. It's awesome. It's really, really awesome. So I know that it's so like that Frank and Paula have a show today, so I want to make sure that we do a show that doesn't run necessarily over into theirs, because I would like to catch that as well. But I wanted to also share with you yesterday, after doing the podcast, like, and I was putting my medicine cards away, there was 3 animal medicine cards in specifics that I pulled that I would like to continue to pull into this space. Oh, and then I was also thinking that what I wanted to talk about. So I want to talk about those 3 cards. I think they're very powerful, and utilize that medicine in our meditation today. Because I also want to have, like, with our meditations, constantly bringing in healing with Gina. But I also want you to do for yourself too, because you healing yourself also helps heal Gina, and healing, you know, yeah, it's all symbiotic. But you know, it's a big time right now, just with six planets, like, well, almost officially going into retrograde. Mercury is right now about going into retrograde, and then we have 6 stars that, like, fixed stars that are also in retrograde. And then we have the summer solstice, and we have a solar eclipse. So we have major portals that are opened right now within our space. And so I really want to take honor to that. And some people like to do rituals when it comes to this time of year. The sun, like the summer, is a very, like, it's shining the lights. So we have the power of the sun that is coming in, and then we also have the power of the shadow that is going to also go over the sun with the eclipse. So we have, like, both sides of that. We also have the new moon. So there's no moon out there. And this is where we really take that time to create and set our intentions of what we would like to create from this step forward. So with the sun, with the summer solstice, this is a time of fertility and abundance. So bringing in the, like, when I think of abundance, like, I know money often, like, is like, oh, abundance this way, but no, I mean abundance of all things, like abundance of joy, abundance of laughter, abundance of healing, abundance of intuition, abundance of focus, abundance of I could go on and on. Okay. For you, what do you want in abundance in your life? So I suggest oftentimes writing things down, just because it's your sigil, and there's power in writing. There's power in your words and speaking. There's also power in the creation of your mind. You don't always have to do, or ever really have to do, ritualistic things, but sometimes, like, enacting behaviors out into your reality and doing the action of it really, like, well, it builds something. It builds more of that in your life. And I think that's really rad too. I also, you know, suggest creating, whether it's through music or whether it's through drawing or art or dance. Oh man, dance is awesome. Like I said about the shamans, you go and they say, like you're looking for happiness. So when was it that you stopped dancing and why? It's time to start dancing. So oftentimes with like the summer solstices, you'll have a lot of like Sufi dancing, which is a lot of spinning in circles. You also get a lot of people coming together in a group, and they also do that spin and that spiral within that energetic space. And that's opening portals, new dimensions for your new reality. Fires are great, igniting the fire of this. Again, the sun is a very fiery. So bringing in the fire, and if you can't set a fire, even a candle or a lighter, whatever you need to do to ignite that fire. So it could be even a meditation of igniting the fire within. So there is a lot of really rad, fun things that I would make suggestions on thinking about and then maybe doing today and tomorrow, because it's both days of just a super powerful time. And the new moon is a 3-day cycle. So it's all right now, and we're all building right now. And it's so rad that we were able to do such a cool thing yesterday, bringing Gina in, the power of healing, our beliefs. And I want to say thank you, Robert, like for putting that, making if you guys have not watched Robert's video, go and watch that. It's rad. And then also making mention of to Gina on your own platform. I just thought that was really, really cool to see and experience, because I love her. And then it was just like, this is like a little tie to that. And I just love that we're expanding that out farther and farther and keeping our awareness to that. So with that, I definitely wanted to talk about the powers that are out there, you doing and building your stuff within your space. But again, I like Robert, the rose, like the beautiful rose that Gina, like creating her into that healing space. And I love that. So, maybe it's just planting her right there in your Merkaba, or however you want to create that, because you are a very creative mind. And I love that. With that, it was interesting because some of the medicine cards I pulled, it's just not common ones. So, the 3 that I pulled was the mountain lion, the grouse, and the antelope. So, I want to read them to you today, because it just was like, we did that awesome meditation together. I stopped the podcast, and then it was just like, now it was time for me to read this. And so I just felt like, let's bring this energy even in and farther. So we're gonna read the antelope first. So the antelope is, run antelope, teach me of action and its pace. Quickly, so I may run with grace. And I love the grace aspect as well, because Jasmine, when you were on the show and we were talking about the swan, and ever since we did that swan meditation together, grace has just been gracing my life, if you will. So, bringing in the antelope. It's a card number 37. Zach turned 37 yesterday. So this is a really powerful creation number. If you bring in the 10 or the 1 or the 0, there's a lot to that. And antelope is action. So when time was just beginning and the tribe of man was small, antelope saw that the two-leggeds were naked, hungry, and in danger of extinction. The ancestors would soon vanish from Mother Earth if action were not taken. Antelope took action and came into the camp, calling all the two-leggeds together for council. Great mystery sent me to teach you a lesson. The lesson is to do. You have no need to be fearful if you know what to do, and then you do it, Antelope said. And what shall we do? Asked the people. If you are naked and cold, you should kill me and take my coat and keep you warm. It is my gift to you. Do it. We will, said the people, but what of our hunger? We are starving. What can we do to save ourselves? If you are hungry, you should kill me and take my flesh, for it will nourish you and make you strong. It is my gift to you and a part of my evolution. It is my service. Do it. Antelope knew that humankind would survive the Ice Age if the people learned to eat meat. Before the movement of the great ice mountains, fruit and vegetables had been plentiful, and the two-leggeds had had no need to eat of the bodies of their fellow creatures. The clans of the second world ate antelope, taking the instinct and wisdom of the four-leggeds into their bodies, and the people learned through each creature's essence how to survive. They were taught never to waste or to take more than they needed. When they were in need, the two-leggeds knew to take action. Humans learned antelope's lesson well. Because of antelope, humans took proper action and survived to this present day. Antelope taught humans to honor the gifts sent from great mystery and to avoid indiscriminate destruction of life. Antelope signifies knowledgeable action. Antelope is a symbol for the antenna of your hair, which attaches you to great mystery by its long cords of light. Looking at antelope, you become aware of your morality and the short time span you have on this planet. With this in mind, you must act accordingly. Proper action pleases the great mystery. Antelope medicine is the knowledge of life's circle. Knowing of death, antelope can truly live. Action is the key and essence of living. Antelope powers have been courted and shamanized since the dawn of time. Antelope clans have been many, and the power of antelope people is great. Antelope medicine gives you strength of mind and heart and the ability to take quick and decisive actions to get things accomplished. If you feel stymied, call on antelope medicine. If you are balled up and twisted in knots, antelope powers will speak to you of proper action and soon set you free. Many ingenious solutions of problems are whispered by antelope. Listen and, even more importantly, act. Surround yourself with this illumination and secret knowledge of antelope. Combine this with action and you will overcome any obstacle or hindrance in your path. If antelope is your centering tree and strong personal medicine, thank Great Spirit. What should be said? Your judgment is sound and your actions will be successful. Always listen to what antelope has to say to you. Antelope in your cards indicates a message of higher purpose. Antelope arms you with a bow of authority and forces you to act on behalf of self, family, clan, nation, and finally Mother Earth. Antelope says, do it now. Don't wait any longer. Antelope knows the way, and so do you. Take courage and leap. Your sense of timing is perfect. When antelope has bounded into your cards, the time is now, and the power is you. Dude, that was so awesome. Like pulling that card yesterday, and like I don't know where you guys are at when it comes to, like, I guess eating meat. I've gone back and forth with it, but it's not so much about eating meat. It's just about how I've gathered my own knowledge of my relationship with animals. I've been vegetarian for years. I've eaten animals. I enjoy eating meat. I enjoy communing with the spirit and honoring what they have brought to me. I feel stronger oftentimes when I have certain types of meat. And I listen to that. Sometimes I feel like eating chicken or fish or red meat, if you will. So I listen to my body. I also have had an opportunity, like I was raised with a family that were hunters. And my dad would always say, there's a difference between killers and hunters. Like, we're not out here just killing so we kill, you know? We actually ate the meat. And we did that process of, the whole process of hunting. And there was a much honor, I guess, in many ways that were paid to that. I wouldn't say that my dad is all mystical in animal medicine like I am. It was just what I observed. I observed from the taking and sustaining of life. And the last time I ever had been on a hunting trip, I would tell you that I did it in a very spiritual way, where I knew that all the parts of that deer, because it was a deer, would be saved. Like I would be utilizing it, not every part, but most all the parts that I knew how to do at that time. And I spent days kind of tracking this one deer that I had seen, and there was meaning behind it. He had 7 points. One of his eighth point had been broken off, and I saw him as a fighter. I saw how he represented me. And I honored that deer, and I loved that deer. And I also knew that through like my life with my own father, that in this moment, that there would be something ignited and something that sparked. And sure enough, this deer gave me a great gift, a great gift, because it was as if in that moment where I finally got that deer, and he came into the field just as you like, if you look at like Eskimos hunting, the animal that's the weakest of the link will stay behind. It knows that it is its time to be sacrificed. It is unbelievable to see and experience. But this deer did. It came. And in the moment that I got it was like something sparked within my father, and it was as if he could see me in that moment. And yet before, I had not perceived him being able to, whatever it meant to me at that time, to see me, because I had a very different view of that. But I very much honor that deer, and I honor that experience. And I think that, like I say, that the animals come and they know. And the antelope is such a powerful message, and just to even read that. And it is action in all that it's teaching, and that they know that they're part of that, you know? Um, so I share that with you. Because I also thought about how I shared when we're dealing with things like we live in duality. So when we're asking one person to live, this also means that there is this balancing act that is at play. And I feel like the antelope has come into our space to say, I am here as part of the sacrifice. And so, so in my mind, I have been. I have been kind of having like the antelope being like the sacrificial lamb, if you will, on giving, you know, like they're like, it's so hard for me to say why I'm pussyfooting around and it's dumb, but something has to die in order for something to live, to keep this kind of balance within our reality. And so within my mind, I just think about all the hunters out there having like their experience and getting the antelope, and I'm just taking the honor of their death as being the death instead. So I share that with you because I want to be able to create with the destruction that is within the space. Also, Gina is choosing the egoic death, right? So within that space is there's lots of different parts of, you know, like the egoic self, those negative energies is also being the thing sacrificed within that space. So I teach that to you so that you can keep also the balance in your own life. So, yeah, I'm going to read some comments before I go to the next animal medicine that I pulled. Um, ooh, let's see. Wait, why are you clicking? Oh, ooh, those are good ones. I don't know ones. Uh, Red meat is something we only have once or twice a month. We go through phases and we have full vegetarian meals, and then other days we have animals, protein incorporated into our meals. Yeah, see, that's really great. I say, listen to yourself, listen to what you need and what you want. When you're eating these, you know, these animals, they have come here, and I honor them, and I transmute if they're anything about their life was or death, you know, because some things out there is seen like not humane for some of the killing of these animals. But at the same time, there's no such thing as good or bad energy. I just take the honor in transmuting that. But for me, when it comes to plants or animals, like I can't see the difference between consciousness. So it's weird, like eating a salad as opposed to eating a deer. Like it literally, like, because they have eyes, but at the same time, like I have driven down streets that I'm sure that the like, well, I touch consciousnesses. I can't understand the difference between the two. No. I pulled antelope a few weeks ago. Awesome. That's rad. I don't remember pulling antelope, not with these cards. So that's really rad. And I might have, who knows? But at this point, I was like, ooh, that's an interesting one to have pulled. So that is awesome. Balance is restored through the medicine of the animals for Gina to heal. Yeah, I like that. So we bring in the balance. Yeah, it has been interesting for me to learn this work when it comes into actually helping people heal, and being that creator and the director of that, because there is a balance that needs to come to play, and I hadn't understood that before, and so some parts of me look back on my life and go, okay, all right, well that was a lesson to learn. I save Sasha, my dog, and then next thing you know, a few months later, she's killing my cat, and and that's kind of how it went. And so now I think about that, and I think about, okay, how do I direct this energy? And there's neither good or bad. It's wonderful and it's honorable what we are doing, and it's rad, and I want to continue doing it because it feels awesome. And I feel like it's part of my calling, and I'm passionate about it. So I'm passionate to understand all sides of the coin. And none of us are getting out of here alive. But we sure want to get our hearts as close to weighing as a feather as we can. And that's what we're doing. So the next animal that I ended up pulling was the grouse, which is, let's see if I can do it without it. There you go, 34. So that's a 7. So we have another 7 in there, which is rad. So the grouse says, grouse of the sacred spiral, which I love because we were talking about like the summer solstice and then doing like the spinning dances. So I was, okay, of the sacred spiral, leading us on to reach the everlasting heights where we can live as one. So sacred spiral is the grouse. Grouse once flocked in abundance throughout North America, but now even on the plains where these birds were so plentiful, there is an absence of them. Many Plains Indian tribes dance the grouse dance to honor these birds. The movement of the dance follows a spiral, which is the ancient symbol of birth and rebirth, the rib tunnel of eternal return. The sacred spiral is also one of the oldest known symbols for personal power. When you think of grouse medicine, visualize a whirlpool or even a tornado, for the sacred spiral will take you to the center. The spiral is a metaphor for personal vision and enlightenment. Many initiates on vision quests paint spirals on their bodies and believe that the great mystery will favor them with visions of power and purpose because of this symbol. I love it. The whirling dervishes of certain Sufi orders are masters of the spiral dance and can transcend to higher states of awareness through the repetition of the sacred movement. Years ago, a few years ago, every morning I would wake up and I would go outside and I would just dance in spirals. And I didn't know why I was doing it. I just was listening to what I wanted to do and what the next thing was. And so I was just dancing every morning all around in these spirals. And then one day on my Facebook or one of the platforms, this man was doing the same thing I was on the beach, the same dance. And I didn't realize it was a Sufi dance. And so I messaged him. I was like, oh my gosh, I do this every morning. So it was like intuitively, dancing in spirals definitely was something that came to me. And I would tell you, it's just really fun and powerful. And in that space, in every spiral, I would just create within my mind and create. It is said that dervishes can travel to the center of the spiral and return with any magical power they choose. In the dervish state, one enters the great silence and has direct communication with the creator. By spinning clockwise or counterclockwise, the dervish draws or repulses specific energies. Sufi dancing is a symbol which connects one with the divine source through ritual treatment of motion. And this can often look like spiraling up and to the right. So you guys know. If you have grouse medicine in your cards, undertake a meditation on the various qualities of movement within your world. Begin by visualizing the sun as one member of a huge group of stars swirling in the massive pinwheel shape of the Milky Way. Then draw yourself out of this pinwheel of light and into the spiraling of your own DNA's double helix, and an arrangement similar to a rope ladder coiled like a corkscrew. Analyze the way you move through your world. How do you picture yourself in the act of locomotion? What kind of reaction do you create with the energy you send into the universe? What words would you use to describe the way you move through both the material and spiritual worlds? In the final analysis, is your movement compatible with your greatest desires and goals? Many spiritual disciplines ask that you cease all external movement in order to recognize the inner life. I like that. Like the cease your external movement now and take a moment and just cease all external movement in order to recognize the inner life. So like look inside. Now that you've spiraled that outside, pause and look inside. Grouse medicine, however, is an invitation to the dance. Grouse celebrates the divine source through its sacred spiral dance and offers this dance to you as a gift. You can spend a lifetime learning Grouse's lessons on how to harmonize your dance with Mother Earth's cycles and how to offer the dance as a creation of selfless beauty. I love that. I would love to pull in that with our meditation today I'm getting hot, hold on. To spiral within the meditation space inside the void, and dance your creations and innovations and what you're wanting to create for bring into fertility and abundance for this next cycle. So yeah, let's do that part of the meditation. Let me just see if your grouse undertake a meditation. So I'm going to probably read part of that grouse where I'll ask you to visualize the sun, and we can go through that together. I think that would be really, really rad. And then, yeah, so let me see if there is any comments here that I would like to read before we go on to the next one. So it was one comment here. Grouse and antelope were some of the very first animal cards I ever pulled when I got my book. Grouse was very powerful in my awakening. So cool. Yeah. So here we are, right back to the grouse, Jasmine. So in all of us and bringing that in, and yeah, let's raise the consciousness of ourselves in the world. The last card that I pulled was the mountain lion. So mountain lion is leadership. It says, mountain lion, O kingly leader of sleek feline form, touch my heart with courage, then sound the alarm that I may lead with foresight, assurance, bright and true, to carry on the spirit of the strength I see in you. Mountain lion can be a very difficult power totem for you to have because it places you in a position to be a target for the problems of others. You could be blamed for things going wrong or for always taking charge when others cannot. You could become the perfect justification for the insecurities of others. Mountain lion medicine involves lessons on the use of power and leadership. It is the ability to lead without insisting that others follow. It is the understanding that all beings are potential leaders in their own ways. The use and abuse of power in a position of influence are part of the great cat's medicine. By observing the graceful pounce of mountain lion, you will learn how to balance power, intention, physical strength, and grace. This relates in human terms to the balance of body, mind, and spirit. The giant feline never wastes anything. It only kills what it needs for survival. The female lion is the hunter who graces for table in a style akin to mother energy. If mountain lion has come to you in dreams, it is time to stand on your convictions and lead yourself where your heart takes you. Others may choose to follow, and the lessons will multiply. If you have pulled the card of Mountain Lion, you may be asked to review the purpose behind your personal beliefs. You may need to discover whether or not your plans include a pride of cubs wanting to be like you or to share in your dreams. If you are already a leader, the question may be whether or not the time has come to push the cubs out of the cave. If you are aligned with the cat medicine, you are considered to be king of the mountain and never allowed to be human or vulnerable. The pitfalls are many, but the rewards are great. In assuming the place of power that mountain lion affords, you must constantly be aware of keeping peace. However, you can never make everyone happy unless you lie to yourself or others. This is human nature. Therefore, the first responsibility of leadership is to tell the truth. Know it and live it, and your example will filter down to the tiniest cub in the pride. Responsibility is no more than the ability to respond to any situation. Panic is not a part of this sacred medicine. Yeah. So, those three cards I think are absolutely awesome. I think pulling in the power of leadership, that we are leading ourselves into a new reality and a new space, that we aren't taking more than we actually need. That, oh man, there's so many parts to the mountain lion as we just read. It's interesting that it says it's a difficult power animal, and I get that there's some things that are difficult, but I honestly believe that each one has, well, I think each has its own balance of whether it's difficult or not to be able to do or embody. So to say this one is more difficult is interesting to me. I liked that the lion came in when I was doing my own meditations, even with the antelope, because, well, the lion does eat the antelope, but only eats as much as it needs. And so in my mind, it also brought that like balance of that. So, yeah, I think that these are good animal cards today. I would like to do a meditation on those with you guys, calling in these spirits, calling in these energies, getting that understanding for ourselves as we welcome in the new moon and find our space where we are creating platforms of fertility and abundance. So, connecting to the sun, spiraling our wires up, and connecting ourselves to these three animals would be really, really great today. Yes. And then with Gina too, anything that you could do within the space, just clearing the energy from her cellular structure, just have it flow freely through there, and whatever healing she needs. So I like also the avians just came to me. They would like to definitely be pulled into this meditation. I think when we are creating for our future, we're definitely asking for more healing of ourselves so that we can learn to balance our shadows. So let's bring in the sun, the avians, and definitely the Pleiades. The Pleiades speak so much about self-love. And I definitely I'm so connected and so tapped in with the Pleiadian energy, and have been for a really, really long time. But they definitely are. I'm getting that sense that they would like to be pulled in with this meditation. So if you guys out there don't know what the Pleiades is, it's a star system up there that looks kind of like a kite. I try and show you this. Where it's hard on my arm here. You kind of can see part of it. There's three. There's a fourth one over there. I actually have like these prominent moles on my arm that is in the shape of the Pleiades. I was like, yeah, I definitely have some birthmarks to me. So let's pull in some Pleiadian energy, the avians. So that again looks like the big blue birds, flying them into our system, and then these three animals building love and healing for yourselves, for Gina, what you would like to create for your next phases of your life for this. Well, there's a portal open here, you guys. So we're going to go meditate within the space of the void and do that. So if you guys don't, I would suggest to go get some water and take some drinks of that and just set your intentions with it. And said all the things, so my water has the intentions in there, so I'm going to drink some. Okay. And when you're ready, find a place that is comfortable to sit or to lie down, whichever is most comfortable for you. Again, with this meditation, we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. And see how you're breathing now. And with your next inhalation, see how deep you can get your breath. We would like to get your breath all the way to the bottom of your belly. So if you can breathe in and circle that breath down in your belly. And then exhalate the dense energy within your system out through your feet. And out through a wiring system that is connected there that you create. I like to make my wires, they're red because they're the color of the root chakra. And red is also fire, and it gives it power. And I like to create the wires where they look very much like root systems and connect them to the earth. And I breathe in the positive and slough out the dense energy. I also feel that I would like to create within this space the wiring system on top of your head, the clear crystalline DNA wire system of your head to be also plugged into the earth with this meditation. So you get a perfect as above, so below within this space. And circling that around. I like that. And with your other wires, like the spiraling DNA helix, the ladder connecting up into the sun, there's a bright light above your head. And click that there. And if you haven't already visualized your Merkaba, let's go ahead and build that now. Draw a triangle underneath your feet and connect the points of that triangle above your head. And then draw another triangle above your head and connect those below your feet. This is your Merkaba. This is your safe space. This is your ability to travel through different dimensions. One way to do this. And then also imagine a toroidic field around you and your Merkaba. A beautiful toroidic field of energy. This could look like pulling a wire out from on top of your head and circling it around to your right and connecting that wire back up through your center and back up through you and circling that around. And you're going to do many of these wires all the way around so that you're inside of like what looks like a donut, a whole toroidal field of energy around you. So also taking that wire from above your head on your left and bringing it out and around and connecting it below. This also looks kind of like a chalice. So there's wires going around it as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. And inside of this energetic space is love, is you, is the beautiful highest version of you. Good. I now also see in this space Gina. I love you, Gina. I love that you're here. If you guys could connect your wires from the top of your head and breathe in, Gina, with love into your space. The purity of love is spoken here. Love is healing. Love is coherence. And breathe her in. I love the way that Robert described it, like a rose. Bring her down and plant her like a rose within this healing space. I saw a little hummingbird fly in. Oh, could you see it too? Much joy within this space. And if you need to take off anything from your day, you or your image of you, there's a box I've placed inside your space. And you can go take them off and go place them in the box and retrieve them whenever you want. In this space, we speak with purity and love and grace. Beautiful. And now we're going to bring in the mountain lion. So majestic, so rare to see. Right into the heart. And observe its graceful pounce as it comes down within your space, within your heart. And breathe in the mountain lion down through your crown and down into your mind. Inside this space, it brings the balance of logic, of leadership, of courage, of assurance, of strength. And breathe it in and breathe it down through your throat so you may speak it. Speak your truth. Speak it as only you know how to do. And breathe the mountain lion down into your heart and feel the motherly energy as if you were her sweet little cub. And breathe her down into your solar plexus, into your belly, into this space. And here she will teach you many things. How to trust your instincts. And breathe her down into your sacral chakra, into your pelvis, into this orange bright space. Teaching you about relationships in a newfound way. There is nothing to fear when you speak your truth, when you live your authentic you. And breathe her down, down through your legs and down through your feet and down through your roots and down into the earth. Where here she can play out into your world and into your toroidic space, into your auric field. She permeates this place. And then breathe her back in. Very good. Very good. And now we call in the antelope. We call the antelope to this space. Who has come to help us take action within our mind and our hearts and within this place. Come to help and sacrifice itself so that we may be filled, no longer hungry and cold. It comes with a very distinct message, and it knows its place. Run, antelope, teach me of action and its pace. Quickly, quickly, so I may run with grace. And connect your wires, your crystalline wires, to the heart of the antelope. And breathe the antelope in. Breathe it down into your mind and into your throat and into your heart. It comes to unify with you. Thank you for your great sacrifices. Thank you for your help. Thank you for teaching us how to take action when action is needed within our place. I love you. And breathe it down into your solar plexus, into your gut, bringing you your instinct. Breathe it down into your solar plexus or sacral chakra, down into your hips, and down through your legs, and down through your root, and out into the earth, and out into your toroidic field, and out into the universe, and back into you. And listen to what the antelope has to share, and clear your mind so that you may hear. And now we call in the Pleiades, where you just plug in your wires there and allow the energy to flow straight down through you and your chakra system and down through your feet. Breathe the Pleiadian energy in. They are here to teach you so much about self-love and higher consciousness and the power that's within you. Such a beautiful energy, that of love and coherence. They understand this space. And connect more wires of you to the avians that have flown in with their great blue wings and great blue bodies, here to bring about their healing. Bringing in the blue laser of healing energy down your ladder of your helix of your DNA, down into your crown, down into your mind, down through your throat and down into your belly. Here they bring so much healing within this space, down into your sacral chakra, healing within this space, loving within this space, back up into your heart where it's giving your heart wings. Here you fly. Fly back down. Fly the energy down, down through your feet, down into the earth and around your toroidic field, your space, your creation. So all of that exists. And now we call the grouse the sacred spiral, where we spiral all of this within. Grouse of the sacred spiral leading us on to teach the everlasting heights where we can live as one. Connect your wires to the heart of the grouse. Visualize now that the grouse has come in. It says visualize the sun as one member of a huge group of stars swirling in the massive pinwheel shape of the Milky Way. Then draw yourself out of this pinwheel of light and into the spiraling of your own DNA's double helix. An arrangement similar to a rope ladder coiled like a corkscrew. And breathe and spiral in the grouse's energy like a Sufi would do. Spiraling and spiraling like the whirling dervish that's inside of you. And see how you move in this world. How are you in locomotion? What kind of reaction do you create within the energies you send into this universe? And travel yourself around, spiraling the Milky Way and the sun, and breathe it in and breathe it into you. This is where we ignite. Breathe it down into your gut, right into your belly, into this space, and light the lightest, brightest light you can imagine within you. Spiraling and whirling the power of you. And push it out through your cells and through your pores. Push it out into your reality. As far as you can see. And back into you and spiraling it in and spiraling it around. Spiraling it up and to the right. A clockwise circle. Around and around within you. And now experience this while I play for you. Very good. Come back to you and come back to your breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. How are you breathing now? What are the sensations within your body? How do your arms feel? How do your shoulders feel? Are they lighter? Are they heavier? Do they feel the same? And breathe. And breathe it down and bring your attention to your stomach. How do you feel in this space? Such powerful medicine we brought in here today. I love you, it says. I love you, I love you. You are your higher you. Now, beautiful, strong, powerful. You are a leader inside your space. You are the governor, and you are the observer. Beautiful spirals we create of beautiful solid amounts of energy permeating our space. How do your feet feel? What's going on there? Are they tingling? Or do they feel the same? Just like your feet. And what great feet they are. Very good. Come back to you. Come back to this space. I'm so grateful for you. Your beautiful heart, your beautiful energy that you bring to this space. And the building and the creativity is so awesome to feel and see. Beautiful. Take your right hand and place it over your heart and give yourself the love you so deserve. You are awesome and you are strong and you are powerful. And place your left hand over your right hand over your heart and circle the energy around here within this space. You are the receiver and you are the giver. You are both. Isn't it awesome? Aren't you awesome? I think you are, and I'm grateful for you. I love you. And take one last breath within this space and look around. If there's anything you'd like to go retrieve from the box, retrieve that now. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back here with me. Very good. Very good. Very good. That was really rad, guys. I love you. Please take your arms and wrap them around you. Give ourselves some oxytocin. I'm giving you the biggest hug right now. I'm right there. I love you and I care about you, and it's a really rad time that we get to experience together. Many portals are opened. Many possibilities are here at our fingertips for us to create whatever we wish. But it's up to you. But I'm there, loving you and on this journey. We're in this together. But it is only you that can do the actions necessary, as it is only me that can do the actions necessary. because it's all our perception. But through this, you guys, we unify. We unify within this space because we are all one, working towards the same thing. I love you, and I'm grateful that you're here. You're awesome. So rad. I would love to hear how that meditation was for any of you guys out there. I think we had such cool, well, we had 3 sevens. I'm just seeing as I just pulled the cards. There's the 37, the 34 is a 7, 3 plus 4, and a 1, 7, 17. So there's sevens reflecting in all of this, and 3 sevens is the mind, body, spirit. And that's what we balance, the mind, body, and spirit, what we conjunct with. And loving ourselves is the key. So on that, I don't really have a whole lot more. I just wanted to make sure that this episode wasn't going to run into Frank and Paula's show. So I believe it's at 6 o'clock. I think I got that right. So it's 6 o'clock my time, Pacific Standard Time. So they should be coming up here in about 30 minutes. And then Zach and Aaron's show goes on at 8. So we should just have a whole fill of awesome, awesome people and information coming our way. And what else? Yeah, if you can take the time to journal tonight. Journal what you're wanting to set your intentions for this next month to be. And what that higher version of yourself looks like, what it takes to go and get that. Because you can send it out to the universe, but it requires you to do the work to do it. So write all of the things, whether it's within your mind or drawing or creating music or actually with a pen and paper. Do that. Do that. And don't forget to dance. Dance at some point. It's worth it. It's awesome. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. I love you so much. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will very much look forward to seeing you in here tomorrow and the days to come, and in the next show times of the different shows. So I love you. I will talk to you very, very, very soon. Bye, guys.